A single diamond glimmers quietly in a field of stones, its worth hidden beneath the dust of ordinary days. How does one stay true when the world expects you to wear a mask? Strength, for some, is woven in silence and solitude, a fortress built from independence, not isolation. Welcome back, Sigma Seekers. Join Gemma as she searches for belonging in a crowd that misunderstands her, discovering that real connection begins not with fitting in, but with unveiling the rare gem within yourself. I woke up to the soft morning light in my small apartment. My room was quiet. I liked the stillness. It felt safe. Books lined my shelves, and my favorite painting supplies rested on the table by the window. I stretched and felt thankful for the peace. Here, I could be myself. I made a cup of coffee and sat by my window. The street below was busy, but up here, I was alone with my thoughts. I picked up a book and started to read. I always loved starting my day like this. No one bothered me. There was no noise or drama. I smiled as I turned the pages. After breakfast, I got ready for work. I wore my usual comfortable pants and a soft blue sweater. My hair was dark and wavy, just touching my shoulders. I looked in the mirror and gave myself a small nod. I did not care about fashion too much. I liked feeling relaxed and simple. I walked to work, enjoying the fresh air. When I reached the office, I sat down at my desk and turned on my computer. Soon, Nick came over. He was always full of energy. His blonde hair was neat and he wore a bright tie. "Hey Gemma," Nick said with a big smile. "We're all going out for drinks after work. You should come. It'll be fun. Maya's joining too." I looked up and gave him a polite smile. "Thank you, Nick, but I have plans tonight." Nick laughed. "You always have plans. One day, you'll say yes." He waved and walked away, joking with some other people. I felt a little left out, but I honestly did not want to go. I had learned that group events often meant gossip and drama. People talked about each other behind their backs. I did not like that. I just wanted peace. Nick did not understand why I said no so often. Sometimes, I wished I could join in, just to make things easy. But I could not pretend to enjoy something that made me uncomfortable. I liked honest talks, not small talk about other people. At lunchtime, I sat at a small table by the window. I watched clouds move across the sky and ate my sandwich. I saw Maya come into the lunchroom. She wore a bright green dress and red glasses. Her curly hair bounced as she walked. She smiled at everyone. Maya waved at me. "Hi, Gemma," she said warmly. I nodded and said hello. Her smile was kind, but I did not know her well. I felt nervous talking too much, so I kept quiet. Maya sat with some friends across the room. I finished my lunch and went back to my desk. The day went by quickly. After work, I packed my things and headed to my parents' house for a family dinner. My parents lived nearby, and they liked to have me over once a week. When I arrived, my dad hugged me, and my mom served soup. Aunt Karen was already at the table. She was my dad's older sister. Her gray hair was pulled back in a ponytail, and her glasses sat low on her nose. She waved her hands as she talked. "I brought dessert," Aunt Karen announced, holding up a homemade pie. We all thanked her. Dinner started out nice. My parents chatted about their garden. Aunt Karen asked about my work, and I told her I was doing well. Then Aunt Karen leaned forward. She looked at me over her glasses. "Gemma, you are so quiet these days. Don't you want to go out more? Have you thought about dating again?" My cheeks felt hot. I hated questions like this. I tried to answer carefully. "I'm happy with my life right now, Aunt Karen. I have my hobbies, and I like spending time on my own." Aunt Karen shook her head. "But you should have more friends. You can't spend all your time alone. What about starting a family? Or at least going out with your coworkers?" I tried to smile, but inside I felt small. "I don't mind being alone," I said softly. "I just like quiet things." Aunt Karen sighed. "You're still young, Gemma. Don't waste your best years hiding away in your apartment. You need people around you." I nodded and thanked her for the advice. I knew she meant well, but her words hurt. It felt like she did not see the real me. She only saw what she thought was missing. After dinner, I walked home alone. The sky was dark, and I felt tired. My family loved me, but sometimes it felt like they wanted me to change. They wanted me to be more like everyone else, outgoing, social, always surrounded by people. That was not who I was. At home, I changed into my soft pajamas and made tea. I sat at my desk and pulled out my sketchbook. Drawing always helped me relax. I painted a small picture of a flower growing by itself in the middle of a rocky field. It looked strong, even though it stood alone. As I painted, old memories came back. I remembered a time in school when I had trusted a friend with my secrets. I told her things I had never said to anyone. But later, she shared my secrets with others. I felt so exposed and hurt. After that, I became careful. I learned to keep my heart safe. I did not share too much with anyone. Now, as an adult, I still kept my walls high. I watched people closely before letting them get close to me. Sometimes, I wondered if I was too careful. Was I missing out on good people? Or was I just protecting myself? I put down my paintbrush and looked out the window. People walked along the street, laughing in small groups. I watched them and felt a mix of feelings. I was proud of my independence. I liked that I did not need to follow the crowd. Still, a small part of me wished for someone who understood me, someone I could trust. I finished my painting and turned off the light. I curled up in bed, feeling both strong and a little lonely. I knew the world saw me as quiet or distant, but inside, I only wanted honesty, peace, and a friend who would not ask me to change. As I drifted off to sleep, I promised myself to stay true to who I was. Maybe, someday, I would meet someone who understood. But for now, my little apartment, my books, and my art were enough. And so, in my own fortress of solitude, I ended another day, safe, quiet, and still hoping for a true connection. My weekend started as it always did. On Saturday morning, I woke up in my small, calm apartment. Sunlight came through the window. I drank my coffee slowly, enjoying the quiet. I read a few chapters of my favorite book and spent some time painting. These were the moments I loved most. I did not have to talk to anyone. I did not have to pretend. Later that day, I walked to the park. The air was crisp, and I liked hearing the leaves crunch under my shoes. I saw groups of people laughing and children playing. Some were having picnics or playing ball. I watched from a distance. Part of me felt happy for them. Another part felt a small ache inside. I wondered what it was like to laugh so easily with others. As I walked home, I tried to shake away that sad feeling. I reminded myself that I liked being alone. I was safe in my own company. Still, I could not help but wonder if I was missing out on something special. On Monday, I went to work as usual. I sat at my desk and checked my emails. Soon, Nick came over. He was always full of energy and stories. "Morning, Gemma," he called out, waving a paper in his hand. "Guess what? Big group project this week. You, me, and Maya are together. Should be fun." I smiled politely. "Okay," I said, though my stomach tightened a bit. Group work meant more talking, more chance for people to get close. It always made me nervous. Maya came by a few minutes later. She smiled gently and said, "Hi, Gemma. I'm looking forward to working with you." Her voice was soft, not pushy. I nodded back, not sure what else to say. We all sat together at a round table. Nick started talking right away. "So, did you guys hear about what happened at the last office party?" He grinned, looking at us both. I shook my head and looked down. I did not want to join in. I did not care about parties or gossip. Maya answered, "I wasn't there, Nick. I went home early." She did not sound sorry about it. Nick laughed. "You two are missing out. You should come out with us next time." I stayed quiet, hoping they would move on. Maya looked at me and gave a small, understanding smile. She did not push. After the meeting, Maya walked beside me to the kitchen. "Would you like to have coffee with me someday, Gemma?" she asked. "Just the two of us. If you're busy, that's okay." Her voice was kind, not demanding. I felt my guard go up. Was this just another person trying to get close too quickly? Did she want something from me? I took a breath. "Maybe," I said carefully. "I'm not sure when, but maybe." Maya nodded. "No rush. If you ever want to, just let me know." She poured herself some tea and went back to her desk. I stood there, thinking about her offer. No one had ever been so gentle about inviting me before. Most people kept asking until I said yes or walked away. But Maya just left the choice with me. That felt different. A few days later, Maya sent me a short message. "I'm going to the coffee shop after work. If you feel like joining, I'll be there." I spent a long time thinking about what to do. My heart said to stay home, but my mind remembered how lonely I felt in the park. I decided to try. After work, I walked to the cafe. Maya was sitting by the window with a cup in her hands. She smiled when she saw me. "Hi, Gemma. I'm glad you came." I sat down and ordered a tea. At first, I did not know what to say. I worried about saying something wrong. There were long, quiet moments. I felt awkward. Maya started talking about her day. She told me about her cat, who likes to hide in the laundry basket. She spoke about a book she was reading. She did not ask me hard questions. She did not try to make me talk about myself. I listened. After a while, I relaxed a little. I told her I also liked to read. I said, "I like painting too." Maya's eyes lit up. "That's so cool. What do you like to paint?" I felt my cheeks get warm. "Mostly flowers, sometimes the sky." She smiled. "That sounds beautiful. Maybe you'll show me one day." I nodded, but said nothing more. I still felt nervous, but I did not want to leave. When it was time to go, Maya said, "Thank you for coming, Gemma. I like talking with you." I nodded again, feeling strange. I almost smiled. The next evening was another family dinner. I sat at the table with my parents, my little cousins, and Aunt Karen. As always, the dinner started with questions for me. "So Gemma," Aunt Karen said, "have you made any new friends yet? Did you join any groups? You know, I just want what's best for you." I knew what she meant. She wanted me to do what she thought was best. I answered, "I'm fine, Aunt Karen. I like how things are." She sighed. "I just don't want you to be lonely. Life is better when you have people around." I felt my throat tighten. I wanted to say that I was happy most of the time. I wanted to say that I just needed people to accept me as I am. But I stayed quiet, picking at my food. After dinner, I walked home alone. The night was cool. I looked at the stars and tried to let go of my sadness. I wished my family could understand that I was not broken. I just needed different things. The next day at work, something interesting happened. During our group meeting, Nick started talking about another coworker's mistake. He laughed and said, "Did you guys hear about what Mark did? He messed up the whole order." Maya looked at Nick and said, "I don't think it's fair to talk about Mark when he's not here. We all make mistakes sometimes." Nick blinked, surprised. "Oh, come on, Maya. It's just a joke." Maya shook her head. "I'd rather focus on our project." I watched her. Something changed inside me. Maya was not afraid to be honest. She did not enjoy gossip or drama. She was kind, but clear. She reminded me of myself, just in a braver way. After the meeting, I caught up with Maya. "Thank you," I said quietly. She smiled. "For what?" "For standing up for Mark," I said. "Not many people do that." She shrugged. "It just feels better to be honest. I don't like gossip." I nodded. I felt a spark of hope. Maybe Maya really could be a friend. Maybe she understood more than I thought. That night, I sat by my window and looked at the city lights. I thought about the weekend, the coffee with Maya, and her words in the meeting. I still liked my quiet life. I did not want to change who I was. But maybe it was okay to try, just a little, to let someone in. I knew it would not be easy. Trust always felt risky. But after seeing Maya's gentle ways, I believed it might be worth it. I made a promise to myself. I would try to be a little more open, even if it was just with one person. As I got ready for bed, I felt a strange mixture of fear and hope. I was still walking my own lonely path. But now I could see a small light ahead, a chance for true connection, without losing myself. And that was enough, for now. The morning sun came in through my apartment window. I sat at my small table with a cup of warm tea, reading Maya's text again. She had invited me to her art show tonight. My first thought was to say no. Crowds and busy rooms made me tired and nervous. But then I remembered our talk at the cafe and how kind she had been. I read her message one more time. "I hope you come, but only if you want to. No pressure at all." That made me smile. I spent the day feeling both excited and afraid. I liked being alone, but I did not want to be lonely forever. Maybe I could try something new, just this once. I wrote back to Maya, "I'll be there." My heart beat a little faster after I sent the message. When it was time to leave, I stood in front of my mirror. I wore my favorite blue dress, the one I saved for special days. I took a deep breath and grabbed my bag. It was time. The art show was in a small gallery. When I walked in, I saw people talking and laughing, holding little cups of juice. I felt worried. I did not know anyone except Maya. I wanted to turn around and leave, but then I saw Maya's bright smile across the room. She came over and waved. "Gemma, you made it," she said, happy and surprised. "Yes, I did," I said quietly. "Thank you for inviting me." Maya showed me her paintings. Her art was full of colors and gentle shapes. Each painting showed a piece of her heart. I liked them very much. We walked together and looked at all the pictures. It was peaceful, even with so many people around. As we talked, Maya told me about her love for colors and why she paints. She said painting helps her show her feelings when words are hard to find. I listened and felt calm. Maya was different from other people I had met. She did not push me to talk. She did not ask many questions. She just shared her world and waited for me to share mine. After a while, I felt brave enough to tell Maya something I had never told anyone at work. "I like to paint too," I said quietly, "but I only paint at home. I'm afraid to show people." Maya smiled kindly. "Art is for you first," she said. "If you ever want to share, I'd love to see it. But only if you want to." I felt warm inside. No one had ever said that to me before. It was the first time I did not feel judged or pushed. I thought maybe this was what real friendship felt like. Just then, I heard Nick's loud laugh from across the room. He walked over, holding a drink. "Hey, Gemma, I didn't expect to see you here," he said. "Want to hear the funniest thing I heard about our boss?" Maya looked at him with gentle eyes. Before I could answer, I found my voice. "No, Nick, I'd rather not talk about people behind their backs. I like honest conversations." My words were soft but clear. Nick looked surprised. He was not angry. He just blinked and then said, "Oh, okay, Gemma, I get it." He turned to Maya. "Your paintings are cool." Then he smiled and walked away, joining a group by the snacks. I felt nervous after speaking up, but also strong. Maya looked at me with respect. "That was perfect," she whispered. I felt proud. For the first time, I had said what I really wanted, and nothing bad happened. Later, more people arrived. The room got louder. Maya asked if I wanted to join her and some friends for drinks after the show. I felt my old fear return. Usually, I would leave early and go home to my quiet apartment. But tonight, I did not want to hide. I said, "I'll come, but can we sit somewhere quiet? Big crowds make me tired." Maya nodded. "Of course, we can find a small table in the corner. Just you and me, if you want." We found a little table away from the noise. Maya talked about her family and how they did not always understand her love for art. I listened and nodded. I told her how my Aunt Karen always wanted me to be more social or to date. Maya laughed softly. "Aunts are like that. They mean well, but they don't always know us." I realized I felt safe. I started to tell Maya about my favorite books, my quiet walks in the park, and my dreams of painting something big one day. Maya listened without interrupting. She did not judge me or ask me to change. After a while, my phone buzzed. It was a message from my aunt. "Hope you're having fun tonight, Gemma. Glad to hear you have a friend. Love, Aunt Karen." I was surprised. Usually she asked me where I was or who I was with. This time, she just wished me well. Maybe she was trying to understand me, just a little. When it was time to go home, Maya and I walked outside together. The sky was full of stars. I felt calm, not tired or drained. I thanked Maya for inviting me. "It was so nice to have you there," she said. "Let's do something again soon. Maybe a quiet coffee, or we can paint together." I smiled. "I'd like that," I said. When I got home, I washed my face and put on my soft pajamas. I looked at my paints and brushes by the window. I felt a gentle happiness inside me. I was still myself. I had not changed for anyone, but I was not alone anymore. I sat on my bed and read Maya's new message. "Thank you for coming tonight. You made it special." I texted back, "Thank you for being my friend." That night, I slept deeply. In my dream, I walked in the park with Maya. The world felt safe and bright. The next morning, I put on my shoes and went for a walk outside. The air was cool and the trees moved in the wind. I smiled at the sky. I knew I could still be strong and independent. I could have my quiet time and my small, safe world. But now, I also had a friend who understood me. As I walked, I felt light and free. I was not lonely. I was just me, Gemma. And that was enough.